I think that's.
Do you want someone to be the timer, Lucy?
No, they're gonna,
You guys
we'll
are-
figure it out. Okay. Here we are. I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 5th, 2025 Cottonwood Heights City Planning Commission business session. We'll start off with if there are any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest to disclose. Well, there is for me, as I know the applicant for what we're going to look at. So I won't be voting on that. I just want to disclose that. We'll start off with general public comment. This is a time to make a comment about an item. Well, let me just review what's on. So we have two business items on the agenda. The first being hearing about a zoning map amendment. And the second is about a continuation from our February 5th meeting. So the first thing we're going to start off with tonight is general public comment. This is the time where public could make a comment about an item not on the agenda. And we'll have 3 minutes to do so. And I'll just offer up my always guidance on public comment is it's a time for civility and no booing or clapping or hissing from this crowd we have out here. So is there anyone who would like to do public comments? Please,
I'm the only one.
if you'd like to, if you'd like to have the chair or stand, whatever you'd like to do, if you wouldn't mind stating your name, and you'll have 3 minutes for your comment.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nick Danziger. I have a home in Canyon Center, which is just off the Canyon Center Parkway in the old Canyon Racket Club area. My wife and I spend a fair amount of time traveling. We have rented out our home from time to time. I'm aware that some folks on this committee are thinking through short-term rental regulations at the moment. And I would just like to offer up to this committee that it would be wonderful if we could take into account some of the character of that area when thinking through the regulations that are relevant for that area. So for example, right next to us is the one grandfathered area that has short-term rentals in Cottonwood Heights. We're well aware of that. On the other side of us, we have a new building being constructed that I believe is now planned to be condos of some kind. There's a hotel right next to that. There's a big bar and restaurant next to that. And there's another restaurant next to that. And obviously, sort of all of the amenities next to the mouth of the canyon. There are a large number of renters that want to come through that area. We would like to play by the rules. We'd like to make sure that we are following all the rules that Cottonwood Heights has in place. That rule is difficult for us because we are aware that as we are on a city street, the current regulations of the city do not allow for short-term rentals. I believe that part of that regulation is due to parking and making sure that we have the ability to provide off-street parking for renters. All of those homes have 2-car garages that are attached to them. All of the units within my development, I suppose, have 2-car garages. And we have a permit from the city to have designated parking along the street. In large part, that's because we have nowhere to put our trash cans on trash collection day. And so I guess this is just sort of a plea to this group to say, you know, if we can think about what is around that area, I understand that we're not trying to impact the neighborhood community. We're sort of disconnected from that. We're more attached with this area that's a combination of commercial and residential. And there are short-term rentals that are just to the north of us that obviously are heavily used in that way. So I think I'm out of time. Thank you so much. I guess that's my full comment. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Clap if you want. I know. Well done.
it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Is there anyone else for general public comment? No? Okay, seeing none, I will close the general public comment time. We'll now go to our first business item, which is project ZMA 25001, a public hearing and potential action on a request by Deanne Child for a rezoning map amendment to rezone a property at 8145 South Pine Creek Lane from RR143 to RR121. And we had a staff presentation earlier in our work session. Does anyone, if we could maybe, Ian, unless the commission wants more, just quickly do a a quick summary review of it.
I was gonna say, it doesn't appear that there's anybody new in the audience, but I can just, for the record, just kind of state what this project is and what our recommendation is. This is the first rezone project of the year. It's a zoning map amendment for this one property, down on Pine Creek Lane near Creek Road to rezone from RR 143 to RR 121. So it's from a 1 acre lot size requirement, rural residential single family, to a half acre lot size requirement, rural residential single family. I won't say much more other than that. We recommend approval. Seems to be fairly straightforward. The context of the surrounding neighborhood is pretty similar to what they're trying to do. Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions for me that you haven't asked yet? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. We have the applicant here. If we have questions for the applicant, any questions, or is there anything that the applicant would like to share that we haven't discussed? Sure.
My name is Deanne Child. I've lived in my home for the last like 40 years. We moved there in 1977. I moved there with my family. It was a private road at the time, right up a Creek Road, but so all our addresses, all our mailboxes had to be up on Creek Road. And there were 3 of us. It was a family friend, and then my uncle and his family, my cousins, and then us, and we each got about 1.5 acres, and then there was nothing else down there. So, and it's very soft now. But I'm the last man standing, so each of the 2 other lots that were about 1.5 acres have been developed. Each of them have 2 homes on them. And now I have just 1.5 acres. And I have the house that I want to stay in, but then this huge field in front of me. And so I would like to sell the front half of it. I do already have the long driveway and worked with at least talked with the fire person and have a long enough driveway that make sure that people like a fire engine could get down there. And I can tell you that a fire engine can get down there and the ambulance or whatever is needed. And so lived there a long time, happy that the way that it's growing up, and I love my neighborhood and I want to stay there. And so dividing this to help me do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have now's the time to open up public comment on this project. Is there anyone who would like to make public comment? Okay. Seeing none, I will close public comment on that. Is there any further discussion from commissioners about this one?
The applicant said she is aware that fire trucks and ambulances can get down that driveway.
I'll note that in the pre-application meeting we had with the applicant, we had a representative from Unified Fire in attendance. So yeah, I don't believe they had any major comments about that turnaround or that lane. And those standards would be reviewed as part of a subdivision application. Sure, they're included in those.
Sounded like there might have been some experience with that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, and let's move to, Ian, could you put up,
Oh, yeah, model motions, yeah.
yeah,
Got
it right here.
oh, you got,
Go ahead, Mike.
I move to recommend approval of project ZMA 25-001 to the city council.
Second.
we have a motion by Commissioner Schulten, second by Commissioner Simon. Any discussion about the motion? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and do a vote. Commissioner Paulson?
Aye.
Commissioner Shelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Mills?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Barnes?
Yes.
Commissioner Simon?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson abstain. Okay, great. Okay. The next item is project CUP 24-019. This is continuation from February 5th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Consideration of a request by Nathan Anderson for conditional use permit and preliminary plat approval. The applicant has requested further continuation of this item to the April 2025 Planning Commission meeting. So this requires us to take a vote. on whether we approve this request to continue it to the April meeting.
I would just note, if the applicant were to decide to propose a different use type within neighborhood commercial, that starts the whole process over. So that would be re-noticed as a brand new application, have a new number, go through a completely different process. So the continuation would only be valid if a submittal came back under the live work use type.
Okay, great. Thanks for that
And
clarification.
if that doesn't happen, then this just
Well,
res-
you
resolves
have to
itself.
withdraw and we'll just say that the item has been withdrawn and it'll remove from the agenda.
Okay. Any other questions? Let's,
What is on our agenda for April currently?
That.
Is it just that?
And live work, the actual defining the use and starting that process are probably the two things right now.
Right.
we'll go ahead and do an individual vote.
You need a motion first. I think.
Oh, heck, we sure do.
I'll make the motion. I move that we continue item CUP 24-019/SUB 24-008 to continue to April 2nd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
And I'll second that.
Just real quick, I'm not sure the project number was right that you said.
What,
So Commissioner Mills included the subdivision number that, I think it's fine to leave it in there.
Okay.
That was initially it required planning commission approval for that and then the first
Okay.
iteration of dropped is below requiring that, but I think it's okay.
Okay, all right, sorry. We have a motion by Commissioner Mills and a second by Commissioner Smith. Any discussion about it? No, okay, great, we'll do a vote. Commissioner Steinman,
Yes.
Commissioner Barnes?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Mills?
yes.
Commissioner Shelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Polson?
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson? Yes. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the consent event agenda for approval of the February 5th, 2025 Planning Commission meetings. Anyone have any feedback or changes to those?
No. I move to approve consent agenda for February 5th, 2025 Planning Commission minutes.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Simon motion and Commissioner Polson second. All those in favor? Aye. Great, thank you. Last item.
I move to adjourn.
Okay, Commissioner Smith motion,
Second.
second by Commissioner Shelton. All those in favor?